The elevator opened at 7:52 a.m., and Evelyn Carter already knew the day was broken. Her assistant, Marcus, stood in the corridor with his tablet pressed flat against his chest, the posture he used when delivering news she wouldn't want to hear. 23 months of working together had given her an involuntary fluency in his body language. Tablet flat. Something had gone wrong. Tablet angled toward her. He had a solution ready. Tablet behind his back. The solution wasn't good enough. The tablet was flat. Raymond called it 6, Marcus said, falling into step beside her. His mother had a stroke. He's in Ohio. Evelyn didn't slow down. How long? He doesn't know yet. At least 2 weeks. She pushed through the glass doors of her office suite. The skyline of the city spread wide behind her desk. Slate gray and indifferent. 27 floors below. She set her bag down with the same precise motion she used every morning. Left corner of the credenza. Handles upright, and turned to face Marcus. Who do we have? Our agency can place someone by Friday. I have Brixton Capital at 9, and a board dinner Thursday in Greenwich. She didn't raise her voice. She never did. The sharpness was in the precision, not the volume. Friday is not a solution. Marcus cleared his throat. He angled the tablet slightly toward her. There is one option. A man named Daniel Hayes. Former military background. Clean record. Licensed for executive transport. He's been doing private contracts, smaller clients. He's available immediately. Evelyn looked at her schedule on the wall screen. 7 appointments in the next 3 days. A due diligence trip to a facility in Stamford. A dinner at which she would be scrutinized by 6 men who had all, at some point in the last decade, underestimated her. Have him here at 8:30, she said. I'll assess. Daniel Hayes arrived at 8:31. She was already watching him from the window when the car pulled into the drop-off bay, a gray, mid-range sedan, not the company vehicle Marcus would have arranged. He stepped out unhurried, in dark trousers and a button-front shirt that had been ironed but was not new. His shoes were polished, but worn at the toe. He was perhaps 35, broad through the shoulders, with the kind of stillness in his movements that came from discipline rather than slowness. There was a child with him. The girl looked about 6. She wore a backpack nearly as large as her torso, and held her father's hand with both of hers. He bent down and said something to her before they entered the building. Whatever it was made her nod with great seriousness. Evelyn stepped back from the window. When they reached her office, Marcus brought them in. The girl stood slightly behind her father's leg and looked at everything in the room. The skyline, the diplomas on the wall, the glass surface of the desk with wide, unalarmed curiosity. Evelyn looked at Daniel. Your resume lists private security coordination. Executive transport is a different skill set. It is, he said. But the core is the same. Move a principal from point A to point B without incident. I know how to do that. Why aren't you still doing security work? A brief pause. I needed a more consistent schedule. She understood, in that moment, what the child represented. She did not soften. But she did not make him explain further. My requirements are simple, she said. You arrive 5 minutes early. You do not speak unless I ask you something directly. You do not discuss my schedule, my destinations, or my conversations with anyone. If I am in a meeting, you wait. If I am running late, you adapt without commentary. Understood. The child cannot be in my vehicle. He nodded once. She won't be. This morning was an exception. Her usual arrangement starts tomorrow. Evelyn looked at the girl. The girl looked back steadily, chin slightly lifted, as if she had decided something. What's your name? Evelyn asked. Lily, the girl said. Are you going to stay out of trouble today, Lily? I'm going to sit in the lobby and read about volcanoes, Lily said, as if this were the most reasonable answer available. Evelyn looked at Marcus. Marcus looked at the floor. Fine, Evelyn said. He starts this morning. The lobby staff watched Daniel Hayes, the way lobby staff always watched people who didn't belong, not with hostility, not quite, but with a particular attention usually reserved for someone tracking mud across a clean floor. One of the senior operations managers, a man named Cliff Whitmore, paused beside Marcus in the elevator bank. "That's the driver?" Whitmore said, not quietly. "Temporary," Marcus said. "He brought his kid. She's in the lobby." Whitmore made a sound that wasn't quite a laugh. "All right," he said, in the tone people use when they mean the opposite. On the 17th floor, Lily opened her volcano book and did not look up for 3 hours. Daniel was 7 minutes late the following morning. He pulled up at 8:07. Evelyn was already standing on the curb, her phone in her hand, her expression arranged with the particular flatness that preceded reprimand. She said nothing until they were inside the building, not in the car, not on the curb, but in the main lobby, in front of the front desk attendant and 2 early arriving associates who happened to be passing through. "You were late," she said. "Yes," he said. "By 7 minutes. Yes. My meeting this morning is with a client who has canceled on me twice." Being on time was not optional. It was the entire preparation. Her voice was controlled and clear. It carried. The front desk attendant found something urgent to examine on her screen. "If this happens again, our arrangement ends." Lily stood slightly behind her father, her backpack straps gripped in both fists. She was looking at the floor, but her jaw was set. Daniel did not look away from Evelyn. He did not offer an explanation. He did not apologize in the way people apologize when they want you to acknowledge mitigating circumstances. "It won't happen again," he said. From the elevator bank, Cliff Whitmore had paused. He watched Daniel with an expression of mild, satisfied contempt. The look of a man confirming a hypothesis. "People like that," Whitmore said, "to no one in particular, don't last long in environments like this." Daniel did not react. He bent down, adjusted the strap of Lily's backpack with a quick, practiced motion, and then straightened. He was 6 minutes early for every pickup that followed. That evening, in the parking structure, Evelyn's last call ran long. She ended it at 9:14 p.m. and walked to the car to find Daniel standing outside the driver's door, not on his phone, not leaning on the vehicle. Standing, Lily was asleep in the back seat, not the back seat of his sedan, which was a different car, but wrapped in a jacket on a folding chair someone had set up near the stairwell entrance. A woman from the building's overnight cleaning staff sat nearby, reading a paperback, keeping an eye on the girl without making a production of it. Evelyn paused. "You paid her?" she said.